Welcome back. In this video we're going to continue looking at the more detailed model of the pizza cutter. We're going to create the guard in this little tutorial. So let's start by creating a new document and just call it the guard. So this will take us into the design area as usual. And again, we're thinking about how this part might appear into the assembly. So we're going to model this on the right work plane. So I'm going to right click, select new sketch, right click, view normal to the sketch plane. I'm going to start off with a couple of lines. So starting at the origin, I'm going to draw a vertical line and an angled line off to the left. And then I'm going to dimension those two lines. So the vertical line, I'm going to dimension 12 millimeters long, and the angled line, I'm going to dimension 17 millimeters long. And the angle between the two, I'm going to dimension 150 degrees. I'm going to use the mouse wheel just to scroll in so that we've got a clearer view of what we're doing. I'm now going to use the offset tool to do a line parallel to both of these. So I'm going to select both lines. I want it to be to the left, so I'm just going to drag the arrow to the other side, and then I'm going to double click on the dimension and change that to 1.2. And hit return. I'm now going to use the line tool just to join up the two ends. So just going across and making sure that they snap. It's shaded it in grey, so I know I've got a suitable sketch. I'm going to use the extrude tool. I'm going to change the depth to 12 millimeters, and I'm going to change the end condition so that it is symmetric. If I click the tick, just turn that around to the right. See that it's gone both sides of the work plane. Now I'm going to spin that around, and I'm going to select the lower inner face and create a new sketch on that. So right click, then new sketch, and I can right click and view normal to work plane, and again I can zoom in with the scroll wheel if I want to. And I'm going to use a center point rectangle. I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm just going to drag down. I'm now going to dimension that. I want the width to be 2.3, and I want the height. Okay, so there. Whoops! I clicked on the edge of the work plane there, trying to put the dimension in the center. I don't want to do that, so just delete that if it goes wrong. And I want the height to be 10 millimeters. And we're going to extrude cut through. So click on the extrude, change it to remove, and I'm just going to go up to next with the end condition. And you can see it's cut a little slot. I'll spin that around, you can see it. Now I'm going to click on the top inner surface, right click, new sketch, right click, view normal to work plane. And I'm going to start with a circle. Line it up at the origin, go all the way up, and somewhere near the top, just drag out a circle. And I'm going to now dimension that. So the diameter of the circle is 4 millimeters. And from the end to the center is 2 millimeters. Now, if when you're dimensioning your circle ends up being drawn up here, we want the circle to come down. So when you change the dimension, if you put -2, it will bring it below. So it will take it to the opposite side of what it was. I'm now going to add in some other lines. So first of all, I'm going to make sure that I locate on the fold and on the edge. And on this, if I move this up to the circle, you can see that a little icon appears to show that it's going to be coincidence. But if I just keep moving it up slowly, you'll see that an icon appears with a tangent symbol on it, which means the line is now tangential to that circle, which is what I want. So I'm going to let go there. Except it's missed it. So it needed to be tangential and on it. So it needed to have both symbols on it. So let's just turn the line tool off. Click that line. Delete it. Let's do that again. So make sure we're locating down there with a coincident point. Come up to the circle. Right, there we go. Now you can see that we've both got a coincident point there and a tangent. So if I zoom in, you can see that it's now tangential to the circle, but it's also on. So it's important that it does both. Now, if you don't get it quite right, so let's go from this point and let's just connect to the circle. So we've just got a coincident point. What we can do is we can edit that line to make it tangential. Let's just put in some other lines where we've got the line tool. So let's go from corner to corner, corner to corner, and corner to corner. Right, now let's edit this line. So if we select the tangent tool up here, if we click that line and click the circle, it's now put that line onto that circle, but with a tangential relationship. Right, use the trim tool, remove the bottom half of that circle, and we've now got a shape that is basically a kind of a triangle with a bit of a radius on it and a triangle with a bit of a radius on it, either side of here. So we're going to use our extrude tool. We're going to click on remove, and we'll just click on through all, click the tick. If we move that round, you can see that it's removed all of that excess material. Right, okay, let's go zoom to fit, and let's right click and go isometric. And here we go. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of radii in now, or fillets. So pick the fillet tool, change the dimension to 10, and click that inner line. Select the tool again, change the distance to 11.2, and we'll spin it around with the right mouse button, and we'll click on the opposite line. And finally, we're going to clean up these slightly bulgy edges where we've still got the line left there from the original shape. So we'll go back to the fillet tool, change the distance to 50, and we'll now click on that edge, spin it around with the right mouse button at that edge. And there we have half of the guard. So we're now going to mirror that. So we're going to use the mirror tool. Entities to mirror, well, we want to mirror the whole of this part. We're under the part mirror, we haven't changed it this time. Click on the mirror plane and select one of the bottom surfaces. Click the tick to confirm, and that is our more detailed guard modelled.